Hey guys, I wanted to talk about this new Neptunia Senran Kagura game that was just announced recently on a Japanese live stream. So PlayStation 4 will be getting a new game from Tamsoft with both Neptunia and Senran Kagura characters. It's an action RPG, which I guess is to be expected since it's from Tamsoft, but the conversation or story dialogue portions of the game will have two-dimensional character art similar to the Neptunia games. So this is a game that I'm excited for, but I also can't help being a little bit disappointed knowing that the direction for this game has been shaped by Sony. So as you can see here, there doesn't seem to be any clothing break feature. And look, I will enjoy the game just as much without it. I certainly don't need that, but it's the fact that I know Sony won't allow it is the only reason that it's not in this game. And it's the reason that we're getting Neptunia cross Senran Kagura, because they know they can't make a main Senran Kagura game without a clothing break feature. When you throw Neptunia in the mix, sure, you can say that it's missing the clothing break feature because most Neptunia games don't have that. I say most because yeah, we had Tamsoft's Hyperdimension Neptunia U, which had more of an action-oriented combat style, very similar to Senran Kagura, just like this game. But this one actually had a clothing break feature. Now, this obvious Sony influence is really more of an annoyance to me. I feel like it's just ridiculous and silly that they should dictate something like this that shouldn't even matter. And it may even be a little bit racist. When you allow Western developed games that have way more sexually graphic scenes in them, but then something with this cleaner looking, cute Japanese anime aesthetic gets restricted, I just don't know how else to take that. Whatever, I still enjoy the games with the content removed, but it just really bothers me that they're holding Japanese developers to a higher level of censorship than Westerners. I mean, these Japanese developers aren't even allowed to show underwear. Underwear that is sometimes just cute. We're not even talking about lingerie or anything like that. Sometimes it's just cute underwear, and that's not even allowed. Whatever, it's anime, get it out of here. So you guys have probably noticed that fans don't really want censored games, so now we are instead getting new releases that technically aren't censored because there's no uncensored version anymore. For example, Kandagawa Jet Girls. I loved that game, by the way. I don't need a clothing break feature, but it's obvious that the developers had planned for it. If you watch the anime, there's a whole breakdown of the science as to what the purpose of the clothing break is, which is kind of hilarious to me, but it's obvious that the anime was designed to help sell a game that has a clothing break feature. But it doesn't matter whether you get the Japanese or the English version because neither of those have the clothing break feature. And it's pretty obvious that this was removed or withheld after the fact. And like I said, the game is great, I recommend it. But Sony obviously had a hand in shaping the final outcome of the game. Now back to this new game, the combat looks great, the fighting really looks next level. Like the hits have a lot of impact to them. They just seem more powerful or cooler in some way. For all we know, this could have been built off of work that they had already done on the next main Senran Kagura game, but just couldn't finish it for obvious reasons and then instead repurposed it for this cross-character game. I mean, who knows? Either way, it definitely looks like a step up from previous entries. Also, we have a new mystery protagonist who I'm already in love with because it's obviously a catgirl. And oh my god, look at those ears, so cute. I cannot wait to see her. I actually can't wait for a figure either so that I can add it to my catgirl army. Also, they hinted at some sort of Milk and Peaches relaxing mode, but I noticed they were very careful not to go too in-depth here, and they're only showing a rough concept. I'm pretty sure they need to work with Sony to figure out what they're allowed to put in their own game first. You know what they really should do? It seems like they're really stuck on the PlayStation 4 for some reason. And I'm sure it's probably because that they're all familiar with the tools. They already have lots of code developed for the PlayStation 4 that they can recycle, but they need to rework those tools and their code for the Switch. Then they could maybe recoup some of those costs by re-releasing the Senran Kagura games on the Switch, maybe with all the DLC, maybe a few extra features, and then finally they could possibly work on a proper next installment. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. Are you going to be picking this one up? I'm definitely interested, but simultaneously a bit disappointed just knowing what Sony has become after relocating their headquarters. Anyway, I'm interested to find out more about this game, and I'll be sure to keep you guys updated, so stay tuned.